My name is Zoya. I am 26 years old. I live in a big city. I work as an artist. Paint small pictures. I paint flowers on shop walls. I paint signs for windows. The work is hard. The money is very small. I live alone in one small room. Have no family. My parents died many years ago. I have no brothers or sisters. Have no friends. My room has one bed and one chair. Has one small table. Have one small fan. In summer it is very hot. I eat simple food every day. I eat rice and bread. Sometimes I eat soup. I do not go to restaurants. I do not buy new clothes. I save every dollar I can. Some days I do not eat dinner. Some nights I cry, but every morning I get up. Go to work. This is my life. One cold morning I painted a cafe window. My clothes were wet from rain. My hands were very cold. I was almost done with my work. Then a man walked into the cafe. He had gray hair. He wore a long black coat. He looked about 65 years old. He walked very slowly. He sat at a table near the door. He looked at the rain outside. Then he looked at me. I looked away fast. I did not want to talk. When I finished my painting, I cleaned my brushes. The man stood up. He walked to me. He smiled at me. His smile was kind and soft. "You look very tired," he said. His voice was quiet and calm. I smiled a little. "It is just a long day," I said. He nodded. "You work very hard," he said. Then he walked away. The next day, I painted a wall near the same cafe. The same man walked by on the street. He saw me. He smiled. I smiled back at him. He moved his hand to say hello. Then he went into the cafe. Later he came out. He gave me a small cup of hot tea. "This is warm," he said. "You can drink it." I said thank you to him. He smiled again. Then he walked away. I drank the tea. It was sweet and warm. Felt strange inside. No one had ever given me tea like this before. The next day he came again. He brought me tea and bread. "You need to eat," he said. Felt shy. "Thank you," I said. I did not know what to say. His name was Robert. He came to see me every day. He always smiled. He always brought tea or bread. Sometimes he brought small flowers. "The flowers are from my garden," he said. He never asked me hard questions. He never made me feel afraid. He was always kind to me. I started to wait for him every day. I looked at the cafe door many times. When he came, my heart felt warm inside. I did not know why. He was much older than me. He could be my father. But he was very gentle. I liked his voice. I liked his eyes. They were not cold. They were warm and kind. One day he sat with me on a chair outside the cafe. He looked serious. "Zoya," he said, "I want to talk to you." I looked at him. My hands felt cold and scared. "You live alone," he said. "You have no family. You work hard every day. Life is very hard for you." I looked down at my hands. I did not speak. "I want to help you," he said. I looked at him again. "Why?" I asked. He smiled a little. "Because I care about you," he said. "And I see you." He stood up. "Please think about what I said," he said. Then he left. That night I sat in my small room. I looked at my table. I looked at the walls. I thought about his words. No one had ever said they cared about me before. No one had ever looked at me like that. What did he mean? The next day I was working again. He came and gave me a white letter. He did not say much. "Please read this," he said. "Then think about it." He smiled and left. I held the letter for a long time. I did not open it. I was scared. My heart beat very fast. What was in the letter? That night I sat on my bed. I opened the letter. The paper was small and clean. His writing was very neat. The letter said he wanted to help me. He said he could pay for my room. He could help with food and work. He said he would not ask for anything back. But he wanted something too. He said he wanted to marry me. My hands started to shake. Marriage. I could not sleep that night. I sat by my small window. The rain fell outside again. My heart felt very heavy. Was he serious? Was this real? Had no family. Had no help. Life was hard every day. My job gave me very little money. It was never enough. And now someone wanted to marry me. Someone wanted to help me. But was this right? I thought about his face. I thought about his kind voice. I thought about how he gave me tea. I thought about how he smiled. He never asked for anything before. He was always nice to me. But marriage? Was this love or was this just to help? The next morning I did not go to work. I stayed in my room. I read the letter again and again. I walked around my small room. My feet were cold. My head was full of thoughts. That afternoon he came again. He stood outside the cafe door. It was raining again. His coat was wet, but his smile was the same. I walked to him. I held the letter in my hand. I read it, I said. My voice was very quiet. He waited for me to speak more. I looked at his face. I looked at the street. I will marry you, I said. He did not move. Then he smiled. His eyes were soft and kind. Thank you, Zoya, he said. There was no hug. There was no kiss. There was no party. Just two people in the rain, just two hearts trying to understand. He said we could marry next month. A small wedding, no party, just a paper and a ring and a promise. That night I sat on my bed again. I looked at my hands. They felt warm and cold at the same time. I asked myself again and again, did I do the right thing? Will I be safe? Will I be sorry later? The rain fell harder outside. I listened to the sound. It was soft and strong. I said to myself, time will tell. The next morning I started to paint again. My hands moved the brush, but my heart was full of thoughts. A new life was coming. A strange life, maybe a better one. Maybe not. But I had said yes. The days went by slowly. Robert did not come every day now. He said he wanted to give me time and space. Kept working. I painted shop windows and cafe walls. I tried to keep my mind busy, but the letter stayed in my bag. His words stayed in my head. I thought about the wedding. I thought about his offer. Still felt strange, but I had said yes. One morning Robert came to see me again. He brought a paper with a date on it. It was the wedding day. He said, only a few people will come. No party, just a small moment. Only if you still want to. I looked at the paper. I said softly, yes, I will be there. I did not tell anyone about the wedding. I had no one to tell. I did not buy a new dress. I had no money for that. I found an old white dress in my closet. It was simple and clean. I washed it with my hands. I made it smooth with an iron. It looked soft and nice. I put a white ribbon in my hair. That was all. The wedding day came. The sky had many clouds. The air felt warm but heavy. I walked alone to a small building. It was a quiet place at the edge of the city. Robert waited outside. He wore a black suit. He looked clean and calm. He held small flowers in his hands. The flowers were not from a shop. They were from his garden. Hello, he said. You look very nice. Thank you, I said. We walked inside together. There were only 5 people there. I did not know them. I think they were his old friends. The man who did the wedding was kind. He smiled at both of us. The room was very quiet. No music played. There were no cameras, only our hands. And our eyes in 2 simple rings. Robert said, I will care for you always. I said, I will try. We put the rings on our hands. The man said we were now married. Robert looked at me. His eyes were soft. Let us go home, he said. We left the building. No one clapped their hands. No one cheered. I did not mind. Felt like a dream, slow and quiet. His house was far from the busy streets. We took a short car ride. I looked out the window. My heart beat very fast. I had never been to his house before. I did not know what it would look like. The house was small but strong. It had old walls and big windows. Smelled like flowers and wood. There were many books on the shelves. The chairs looked soft and comfortable. The curtains were thick and red. The air inside was warm. This is my house, he said. It is your house too now. I looked around at everything. It is very quiet, I said. Yes, he said. But it is safe. That first night I slept in a new room. The bed was big. The pillow was very soft, but I could not sleep. I looked at the ceiling. I felt like a guest in the house. I was not afraid, but I was not calm either. Robert did not come to my room. He gave me space. He did not ask for anything. That made me feel better. He was kind to me. He gave me respect. Still, I asked myself, is this really my life now? The next morning I woke up early. I walked to the kitchen. Robert was already there. He had made tea. He had made bread. The smell was very sweet. A small cup waited for me on the table. Good morning, he said. Good morning, I said back. We ate without talking much. But it was not a cold quiet. It was soft like quiet music. Every day was the same. He made tea. I helped in the kitchen. He worked in his garden. I watched him from the window. He sang small songs while he worked. He looked happy. One afternoon when it was raining, he came inside with a box. This is for you, he said. Books. Open the box. Inside were storybooks. They had simple words and pretty covers. Thank you, I said. I smiled a little. We started to talk more after that. I asked him about his garden. He told me about the flowers. I asked him about his past life. He spoke softly. He said he had no wife before me. He had no children. He used to work in a bookshop. Now he likes to grow plants and read books. I listened to his stories. They were not big stories, no adventures, no travel to far places, but they were kind stories. His voice was nice to hear. His eyes stayed soft and warm. One evening after dinner he gave me more tea. I am glad you are here, he said. I looked at him. I felt something new in my chest. Not fear, not duty, just warmth. Thank you, I said. The next morning the sun came through the big windows. I woke up and smiled, just a little smile. I walked to the kitchen. He was making bread again. He saw me and said, "Try this one." The bread was still warm. Took a small bite. It tasted sweet and soft. That day he showed me his garden. Many flowers were growing. The herbs smelled very fresh. Nature teaches us to wait, he said. I like that idea, I answered. We sat outside for a long time. We talked about books. We talked about simple things. He never asked me about my past life. He never told me how to feel. He just listened to me. He just smiled. That touched my heart. I started to see him differently. Not just as an old man. I saw him as a kind man, a person with a gentle heart, someone who never wanted to hurt me, someone who gave things without asking for things back. One night we sat outside on the porch. The stars were very bright. The air was cool. I held my cup of tea and looked at him. He said nothing. I said nothing. But I felt safe. Maybe this was not just about help. Maybe something was growing between us. It was small. It was slow. But it was there. The next day I helped him in the kitchen. Made soup. He made bread. We laughed when I dropped my spoon. He helped me clean it up. You are doing very well, he said. That evening we ate together. I did not feel like a guest anymore. I felt like part of the home. Later I walked outside alone. I saw two women from the market. They looked at me and talked quietly to each other. One of them said, "She only married him for his money." The words hit my heart hard. Felt shame. I walked back home quickly. Robert saw my face when I came inside. He touched my hand softly. "Words mean nothing," he said. "I know who you are." I did not cry, but my eyes were wet. That night I asked him, "Why did you help me?" He looked up at the stars. "Because you needed kindness," he said. I felt something move inside my heart. I had never heard words like that before. Not like that. Not for me. The next morning I woke up early. I made tea for him. I brought it to him in bed. "Thank you," he said. That time I smiled first. Many weeks passed. The days were calm and peaceful. We shared stories and tea and small meals. We worked side by side. We said few words, but they were true words. I looked at his eyes more. I saw how he looked at me. Not with need, not with power, but with care. I started to feel something new. I did not want to run away. I did not want to hide. I wanted to stay. I was not sure if this was love, but it was more than help, more than duty. Felt real. One morning Robert left early. He said he needed to go to the city. He stayed home. I drank tea alone. I looked at the books he gave me. The house felt quiet, more quiet than usual. I waited by the window. I looked at his garden. I listened to the wind. I missed him. When he came back in the evening, he brought me small flowers. "Just for you," he said. My heart beat a little faster. I took the flowers and smiled big. "Thank you," I said. That night I sat by the window. I touched the small necklace he gave me. It was not expensive. But it was the first gift I wore because I wanted to, not because I had to. Later that evening he made tea and sat near me. "You seem happier these days," he said. I looked at him and moved my head. Yes. Yes, I think I am. I did not say more, but I felt it in my heart. Not fear, not pain, but peace. I did not feel alone anymore. I did not feel lost. Each day felt softer and better. We worked in the garden together. We made bread together. I painted a small corner of the kitchen. He said it looked beautiful. I smiled more and more. He saw this. He said, "Your eyes look brighter. You seem stronger inside." Then the seasons changed. The air became cooler. The sky was very clear. The flowers in the garden opened wide. The rooms in the house felt warm and safe. Robert and I sat by the fire one evening. He looked at me. His eyes were gentle. He reached for my hand. "Are you happy, Zoya?" he asked. I looked at him for a long time. Then I said, "I married you for money. But now, I stay because I want to." He touched my face gently. I moved closer to him. Our lips met for the first time. It was not fast. It was soft and warm. Not for gold. Not for need. It was for love. That night we sat quietly together. He held my hand. My heart felt very light. I said quietly, "I once had doubts about this. Now I feel everything." He kissed my head softly. "So do I," he said. The days that came after were slow and calm, but everything felt new. We laughed more. We cooked new things. We walked outside often. We watched birds and clouds. We talked about nothing and everything. One day, I walked into town alone. I went to the market. I bought fruit and flour. I smiled at people. They smiled back at me. I did not feel small. I did not feel shame. I felt like someone who belonged. Then I heard two women behind me. They were talking quietly again. "She only did it for the money," one said. "It is not real love." I felt their words hit my back, but this time I did not walk away fast. I stood still. I turned around and looked at them. I did not say anything, but I looked into their eyes. Then I walked away slowly. My head was high. I was not their story. That evening, I told Robert what happened. He listened to me. He said, "People talk when they do not know the truth. But we know the truth. That is enough." I moved my head. Yes, I believed him. And I believed in us. We kept living our simple life, small, quiet days. He showed me how to make sweet jam. I showed him how to paint tiny flowers on the wall near our table. We made a small chair for the garden. We sat there many afternoons. Our hands closed together, our hearts open. One morning I brought him tea again. He took my hand and kissed it softly. "Thank you, Zoya," he said. "You are light in this house." I looked at him and said, "So are you." Later he became sick for 2 days. I took care of him. I made soup for him. I put cool cloths on his head. I read books to him. When he slept, I sat near him. I watched his face. I felt scared, but I also felt sure I did not want to lose him. When he felt better, he smiled and said, "You stayed with me." I said, "Of course I did." Then I said quietly, "I love you." It was the first time I said those words out loud. He looked at me with water in his eyes. "I love you too," he said. The next day I painted a new picture. It was of our garden flowers and a chair and 2 cups of tea. I gave it to him. He put it near the front door. "We will see this every day," he said. Many seasons passed. Our love grew like the garden. Not fast, not loud, but deep and strong. I did not feel poor anymore. I did not feel lost. Felt loved. Felt strong inside. One afternoon I sat with him outside. I held his hand. We looked at the sky together. He said, "You saved me." I said, "No, you saved me." He smiled. Maybe we saved each other, and I knew this was true. What started as a marriage for money became something much more. Became real love. Love that grew slowly, like flowers in a garden. Love that was built on kindness and care. Love that showed me I was worth loving. Sometimes the best things in life come when we least expect them. Sometimes love finds us when we think we are lost. And sometimes what looks like one thing becomes something completely different, something beautiful, something real, something worth keeping forever.